Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Moonlight Theater. And first off, I want to say thank you to everybody who watched and commented on our Halloween video. It was a ton of fun to make, and it kind of became like a little short film, and it was such a fun way to end everything that was building up to Halloween, and we got so much positive feedback and so many positive comments and constructive criticism from you guys, so thank you so much for whoever watched it, commented, and subscribed. It was just really cool to engage with all you guys and start to build this little small part of the horror community, this little Moonlight Theater community, so it feels really cool, and it's always a pleasure talking to you guys, whether it's on the Facebook page or in the comments section. It's super freaking awesome.
You did all right this time, Fly Boy. How about it?
Over here!
So speaking of the future, there's more episodes in the works and some bigger cool film projects kind of in line with the Halloween video that are in the works as well. But today's episode is a short little one. It was a little bit of a surprise episode because you know, what the best feeling in the world is when you order something in the mail and you forget that it's on its way, and then it shows up and you get to open it and you're like, oh fuck, I forgot I ordered this. Yeah, that happened. So what we have here is the Dawn of the Dead 4K collector's box, and Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, this thing is freaking awesome. As you may or may not know, first ever episode of Moonlight Theater was on Dawn of the Dead because it is by far one of my favorite horror movies of all time, one of my favorite zombie films, and just one of my favorite films in general of all time. I've watched it a dozen times, and I still enjoy it every single time. It's definitely on my top 5. Yeah, I'd say it's in my top 5. So when they were doing a 4K box set of this, I had to get it. I had to get my hands on this because, weirdly enough, this movie's rights were tied up with a lot of people. So for the longest time, it was super hard to find even back when before I owned any copies of this, I had to track it down on DVD, but it took me so long. And it wasn't until years of searching, and it was really expensive online, I found it in this random comic book shop in their DVD section. They had the full box set, and I was so thankful. Yeah, because the rights were all in different places. People had different ownerships of distribution rights, and it became very difficult to find. Even this is coming from Europe. As you can see, it has the European ratings on it, so even this was still, I had to go through other means to find this and order it off their site when they had the pre-orders, and it wasn't super advertised, so I was lucky enough to get one of these. Now, as far as this box goes, it was a pretty penny, but it was completely worth it because the packaging alone is really high quality. It's a really nice box, and you get a ton of content. So you get every single released version of the film. You get the Argento cut, the Dario Argento cut that was released in Italy. You get the US theatrical version. You get the extended cut. You also get the Cannes Film Festival extended cut. You get a bunch of different cuts of this film, more than you'd ever need. And it's all packaged up nicely. You get multiple documentaries of the making of this movie, multiple documentaries from the perspective of the zombies in the film. A couple of people put together some documentaries. Tons of lost footage, tons of interviews with Romero that were never found until now. It's just unbelievable the amount of content. I haven't even watched all of it yet because been really busy, but there's just so much content here. You also get the CD soundtrack by Goblin, who did the soundtrack for this movie, which Goblin is a super cool band. They've done a lot of soundtracks for films like Deep Red and a lot of the Romero films, so it's like they did a lot of horror film soundtracks in the 70s, and they have a really distinct psychedelic rock sound. It's a really cool band. If you don't know them, check them out. But what's really cool here, and this one was personally my favorite part of this box set, you actually get a novelization of the film written by George Romero, and yeah, it has this really sick cover, and it's just so cool. It's like if you ever wanted to read the movie in novel form, you have it right here, written by the man himself. So it's one of those things that's just really, as a super fan of Dawn of the Dead and a super fan of Romero and just zombies in general. This is super fucking cool. This is so cool. It has a really awesome cover. And last but not least, you get Dissecting the Dead, a book of essays that people have written on Romero and the film itself. So you get a ton of content, a ton of cool pictures in here, posters from. You get a lot of artwork and posters of the initial film's release and the worldwide posters, the worldwide release. This book has so much content. Once again, if you are a fan of this film at all, I think you need to track down this box and get it before it's too expensive. It's completely worth it if you are a fan of Dawn of the Dead at all. I think this is the definitive version to own because the DVD is super hard to track down. Any other versions are kind of tricky nowadays, so I'd say go with this one.
What are they doing? Why do they come here?
Some kind of instinct, memory, what they used to do. This was an important place in their lives.
So this was just a little quick episode. I wanted to just show this. I had a chance. It showed up when I was in the middle of other things, and I was just like, holy shit, I should show this because we did the Friday the 13th box set, so I figured why not do the Dawn of the Dead one too. And any other horror type stuff I pick up because, you know, I end up buying a lot of movies or people buy them as gifts for me, so then it all stacks up. But this one was super cool, so I figured I'd highlight that. In case any of you guys were on the fence about buying it, I would say pull the trigger on this one because it's definitely worth the price. You get so much content. There's so much. I can't wait to read through the books and watch all the documentaries. I'm going to watch all that documentary footage. There's a lot of hours of footage on there. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
You never know.
Money, money, money. Good right.